Okay, welcome everybody back to Steve Talks Boxing X, STBX, and welcome to the Roundup with Darren's March show. This show, we're going to look at the highlights of the past month in boxing, and of course, joining me is Darren Aston. Thanks to come back on the show, Darren. Thanks for joining me.
No problem, Steve. Great to be back on for an epic month for boxing we just experienced.
Epic. Yeah, and Easter Monday, so cheers to you as well. So
all the best to you and all the viewers.
Yeah, cheers.
Happiness and health.
Definitely. Obviously, wow. Have you recovered from last night's fight? That's my main question, really. What a fight.
It was just, the card was very good. Couple of the fights beforehand were hit and miss. We was really sort of like relying on the main event to really finish the night brilliantly, and oh my God, what an absolutely unbelievable fight.
I was going to say, in case viewers don't know what we're talking about Wardley versus Clarke, that British heavyweight clash.
Yeah. Well, it just had everything. I mean, the two of them were engaged, went toe to toe. It was just a phenomenal night of boxing on Easter Sunday. You just can't beat it.
It was a nice treat. I might go straight to it, Darren. Obviously, we reviewed the fights of the month, the fighters of the month. So, who was your fighter of the month in March?
Well, fresh off the mind from last night, I think you can't really say one of them. I think you've got to say Wardley and Clarke for the fight they put on.
Yeah.
Well, I was going to come to mention. I mean, look at Fabio Wardley's face there. It's horrific. His eyes were closed up. His nose was cut. Black eyes. It's just the pair of them. Like I said, I was going to edge probably towards Fabio Wardley from where he's come from with the white collar background to what he's actually done now in professional boxing. But I can't give it to one of them. I feel like I've got to give it to both of them for the epic fight they put on. There was knockdowns. There was toe-to-toe action.
Yeah, points deduction.
It points deduction. It had everything. And the crowd was on fire for it as well. I thought it was a very good atmosphere. Yeah. And I think going forward, there's got to be a rematch for that. But hats off to both of them.
Yeah. Did you see a picture? Did you see? I was going to say, did you see a picture of the ring this morning after the fight?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I've seen it.
The blood splats everywhere.
Well, that's the thing. The two of them just they didn't let it down. You could tell they were both so hungry for it that they were willing to put everything. I mean, I saw Fabio Wardley in the press conference after the fight. He said, "Them type of fights can take years off my life," and he's right. They left it all in the ring, and the both of them. How can you give it to one or the other? I've got to give it to both of them. Sorry.
Yeah, that's fair enough. While I was watching it, my observation, I thought Fraser Clarke was hitting the heavier shots, the hurting shots, while Wardley was putting in the more combos, more work rate. But I thought the hurtful shots were definitely coming from Clarke. I don't know what you thought.
I thought Clarke was probably the more accurate and more technical, better boxer. But I thought Wardley looked like he had more power the way Clarke looked like he was feeling them more. Maybe that's a testament to someone's chin to the other. I don't know, but I thought like Clarke technically was the better boxer, but both of them you can't split them for being the fighter of the month. I think you've got to give it to both of them. I was going to give it to Fabio Wardley, like I say, from where he come from, but you've got to give it to them both for an epic encounter.
Yeah, we definitely want to see that again, wouldn't we, really? So,
100%. Yeah, 100%.
So we go on. I already know your answer to this, but what was the fight of the month for you?
Well, to be honest, this was a tight one. I was going to say Nathan Heaney versus Brad Pauls because that was an absolute brilliant fight, and I was ringside for it. But well, I was going to say the comparison why I'm edging towards Wardley and Clarke. There was a knockdown in the fight, and there was blood stained all over the ring. I just thought it was a bit more engaging.
Would you say,
more drama. There was the points deduction as well, and
probably the same result. both the same result. Both ended in draws. So
that's true, yeah. But I'll go on to a bit more of the Heaney fight after with something that with what you're going to ask me. But for me, that fight probably edged it with, like I said, they had the knockdown, and I'm a big fan of heavyweight boxing anyway. For how close the fight was between both of them, for being so good, I'd probably edge it towards the heavyweights. You can't beat two big guys slugging it out the way them two were.
Yeah, and the last few rounds, both of them obviously looked tired. So it was just pure, the fitness, the work in the gym, what was carrying them through, the determination, really, to get them through them last rounds. Did you think a draw was a fair result?
I actually done a live for this. And
what was your score?
Well, I said I couldn't really split them. If I was going to edge it one way, I'd probably edge it the odd round, maybe to Fraser Clarke. But it was a fight where I thought Clarke was like 4-1 up. Then I thought Wardley pulled a few rounds back. Then I thought Clarke took a couple more. Then Wardley come on strong. It was such a nip and tuck the way they were to and fro, backwards and forwards. I thought a draw really was probably the fair result. But I was going to say, the guy who was doing it with Neutral's Corner, he had Clarke winning by 3 rounds.
Well, this is the thing. You got to look at the knockdown, 10-8 round, point deduction, 10-8 round possibly. So you've lost possibly 4 rounds there already. So did Clarke win the other 8?
Yeah, I thought one of the scorecards was definitely out.
Yeah,
I would agree with that. And I think the points deduction was harsh as well, because he didn't really have any warnings about low blows. It was quite sharp the way the ref was on it. And I thought that was very sharp the way he done that. But as regards the result, I think the fans are going to win in the end. We've been able to see a rematch, and it probably won't be till September, October, because the Wardley's cuts have really got to heal. And then you got the training camps again. I mean, Ben Shalom said he would have done that fight sooner for the rematch, but obviously Wardley's got to heal up. I mean, Fraser Clarke hasn't really got too much damage to his face.
No. I totally agree. Definitely 100% got to have that rematch. So, and I think this time round, the tension it will bring as well. So maybe even Sky could even punt it as a pay-per-view. You never know.
Don't give them any ideas, Steve.
No, I'm not giving them ideas. No. Maybe
don't say that.
Yeah, I don't want to say that, but maybe a cheap pay-per-view, maybe. So a cheap.
No, we want free to air with our subscription.
Yeah, free. Well, the fight I mentioned earlier in the week was also on Sky Showcase. That is brilliant, though, because I imagine hopefully that done well for British boxing, good viewing numbers, because it was on obviously Sky Sports and Showcase as well. So hopefully you've got 2 British heavyweight fighters who will get good viewing figures and get their markability up a bit and interest up in British boxing as well.
Definitely.
Going back, I know someone who's going to love this because he's not been one of your favourites. Who is your promoter of the month and why?
Well, like you say, I wasn't a favourite of boxers at all. I got blocked. Was it last year? I was definitely last year, at some point last year.
You can only take them too much, really.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I got.
Prodding, they will block you.
Yeah, I know. I thought I was going to keep getting away with the stick I was giving them, but no, I was blocked in the end. But I'm unblocked now, so I'm here to tell Ben Shalom. Hopefully he watches this.
Well, I thought
there he is.
I thought I never hear the day, Darren, that you've gone from 6 months ago, perhaps, when Boxer weren't looking that great, to, you actually saying, obviously, Ben's name there. They've turned it around, haven't they, really?
Absolutely. They've you can only give credit where it's due, and I'll say it as it is. Boxer, for a long, long time, really failed for me for what they were doing for Sky Sports and British boxing.
Yeah.
But this is why I've gone for Ben Shalom and Boxer as promoter and promotion of the month. Is when you look at their fight cards they've done this year, you've had Mayo Jonas, you've had Buatsi Aziz, and now you had Wardley and Clarke last night. They've had a great start to the year. That show last night was very good. To top it off with a main event of what it was, I can't think of who else you could give it to. But overall, the one thing you can say, British boxing this year has been thriving. We've had the Dalton Smith Cepeda, very good show. We had Nathan Heaney versus Brad Pauls, very good show. And then we've had this one. No one can argue with what British boxing is doing domestically at the minute. It's been very, very good this year, and hopefully it carries on. But full praise to Ben Shalom, and hopefully he watches this.
I thought I'd never get the day that we go with Boxer and Ben. He will be happy to hear that anyway, because I think they are turning corners now. Maybe a bit of a stuttery start with Sky Sports, but they're delivering fights now. They just announced Adam Azim against Eubank as well.
Not official yet, though, Steve. Not official.
Not official, yeah. They're kind of, But, you know, that's going to bring attention as well, isn't it? I know Chris brings a lot of attention with it there as well. He'll bring the numbers. That's going to bring a lot of interest because of Eubank name, I think, there as well. So I think that they are definitely turning the corner for British heavyweight, British boxing and boxing in general, really, on Sky Sports as well for them. Looking forward,
and I was just going to say quickly, Steve, as well, and to mention as well, none of them fights were pay-per-view, which is a massive plus. No. Massive plus.
That's what I'm saying. Boxers got to introduce the public and get them interested in the Adam Azims to make them the next pay-per-view stars. Yeah. That's the only way you're going to introduce them in slowly, get everyone hooked to them, and then suddenly hit them with a pay-per-view star, I think. And definitely Adam's one of them ones I think they definitely want to put there for future pay-per-views anyway. That's my guessing anyway. And I think
I think they are aiming. I think they are aiming for that with Adam Azim, definitely.
100%. Yeah, he brings the entertainment. He's young. He brings the, good social media numbers as well, traction. A bit like Ben Whittaker, perhaps. When Ben steps up, he brings massive social media numbers to his fights, lots of attention. So it's only a matter of time, I think. They got to start pushing Ben a bit more.
I totally agree.
Yeah, into more meaningful fights, and then people will say, okay, this guy can fight. We can take him seriously, a bit more seriously now. Looking ahead, April fights.
Well, you've got a DAZN card, Matchroom card this weekend. You've got Diego Pacheco, and you've got Sky Nicholson for the world title against Sarah Mahfoud, is it? I mean, that's a decent show, but for the time we've got, I'm going to aim for like what I'm looking forward to. We've got domestically, we've got Jordan Gill versus Alpha Barrett. I think that's a very good fight in Manchester. I think that's a very good fight. I think Jordan Gill stepping up in weight has brought a new Jordan Gill, to be honest with you. He looks, from what we've seen him in the short space of time, the new weight, he's looking very good.
Yeah, definitely.
Zalfa Barrett's a quality operator. I think it could be a very good fight. Potentially could be a very good fight. But over the pond, you've got to say, if we see it, Devin Haney versus Ryan Garcia. If we see it.
If we see that. I knew you answered before recording, and that is a big if, because obviously we've seen a lot of Ryan Garcia on social media. It doesn't seem 100%. Some people say it's a show, but I don't know. What's your thoughts on that?
I haven't got a clue. I mean, if someone's struggling mentally, like it does look with what he's saying on social media, how are you supposed to know where his mind's at? I mean, from what you're seeing, it looks like he shouldn't be stepping anywhere near the ring. He doesn't look like he's there with the fight or anything. But the only way we'll know is on fight night to see how he performs. It's a very strange one. I mean, he definitely looks like he's got some kind of problems going on. It's a shame,
I wouldn't say drinking and smoking drugs is a good preparation for a fight, maybe.
Definitely not for Devin Haney, anyway.
You got to take Haney seriously. Surely you got to be putting in 100% plus, for the Haney fight.
But it's a good fight. It's a very good fight on paper. it's potentially a very good fight on paper. I mean, I'd fancy Devin Haney because I think he's a superb boxer. But if you've got Ryan Garcia that after the fight takes place coming in the ring the way his head is, I mean, who knows what you're going to see?
Yeah, I think it's a great. Yeah, personally, I think it's a great fight. But just hopefully, come fight week, you know, Ryan Garcia assures us he's okay to fight. So that's the last thing you want to see, someone going into the ring not 100% mentally, let alone physically, but mentally he's not quite there. And like I said, it's a bit worrying the signs on social media. So, but why post it on social media? I don't know. I don't get that neither.
Well, it's almost sometimes. I mean, I'm no psychologist or anything like that, but it's almost a sign sometimes, like when they're doing it, it's like a cry for help type of thing, isn't it?
Yeah, that's
when you're posting things like on social media. But I mean, if he comes in the ring with the way he's looking, the way his head's at the minute, it could be, like I say, it could be anything. He could come in reckless, go for broke early. Who knows what you're going to see? But on paper, it's a very good fight. Potentially, it could be a very good fight. Sure. But we don't know where we are with it, do we?
I forgot to ask you a question, Darren. We always go to the boxing controversy of the month. I've got to ask you that one. What was your one?
Well, because I was there ringside and I saw it live and I spoke to a lot of people about it. It's got to be in the Nathan Heaney Brad Pauls fight.
Yeah.
I mean, where you saw the week. Yeah, not just the draw. The draw result as well, but not just the draw. Where we saw the weekend, Fraser Clarke, a couple of low blows, point deduction. Nathan Heaney was, a lot of people saying, spitting the gum shield out deliberately when he's hurt. 3 or 4 times it happened. The holding. People are saying like Nathan Heaney should have been deducted points in that fight, which would have lost him the fight.
Yeah.
So that's the controversy for me. I mean, I didn't see it as much as what people saw, but a lot of people I spoke to ringside thought that Nathan Heaney got away with a hell of a lot in that fight.
I was going to say, surely that's a part of boxing. It's a tactic. You know, we saw it a bit last night. You spit your gum shield out. It buys you a bit of time.
I agree. And you see things in football where a player goes down for 5 minutes and saying they're injured and they're not. I do agree, but for some people, like I've done a YouTube show with someone and they were saying to me, it's not right. You shouldn't do it. Some people don't see it as part of the game. They see it as a controversy. Oh, that could have nicked Brad Pauls the fight. So that's why I would go for that's the controversy of the month for me, because when you compare it to like last night, Fraser Clarke never had a warning really that much for the low blows, and then he's got a point
deduction.
But he should have had 3 warnings really for the points taken away. That's what I believe it is, and nothing happened. But like then you had the other fight the other week where several things happened
and nothing happened.
Yeah. So that's got to be the controversy for me.
For me, that's all a part of boxing, and it depends on the ref. So almost you can test the ref. How much can you get away with? That's for me.
Yeah.
It's all a part of boxing. All them little tactics, holding and hitting behind the head. It's a part of boxing. It's as simple as that. Spitting your gum shield out.
Yeah.
And
I do agree with you on that.
Yeah. If the ref's on it, then he'll warn you.
If not, I do agree with you on that.
Get away with it. Yeah, you can push the ref.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, I would agree with you on that. But the problem is, you get a lot of people that don't agree with it. So it creates controversy, and controversy creates headlines. We know what it's like.
Yeah. Well, ultimately, it's a ref in the ring. He's the one who's deciding what's good, what's bad.
Yeah.
Going back, always end the show with some. Well, try and get some controversial questions as well. Talking about controversy, and we're going to go back to this guy, Conor Ben.
Dear.
Obviously, oh dear, you said that already. Obviously, we've had Easter with the Easter eggs and everything's done now. So Eddie's been a bit quiet on this one. What's your thoughts on that?
My thoughts are, I hope he doesn't watch this show because he's quite vocal on Twitter.
He'll match room next, and then Eddie.
He'll definitely respond to you if you tag Conor Ben in this, you'll definitely be getting some of yours back. What can you say? I mean, how long has this been going on for now? We've all said needs to clear his name, fight in the UK, get the fights on, get back to being the growing superstar he was, but it looks like he's going to be going back to America and fighting in leisure centres again. That's just to put it bluntly.
Is the future for Conor Benn in America? Because obviously he's not going to be fighting over here, I don't think.
And the thing is, right, he doesn't help himself. He posted something on, I don't know if it was Instagram or Twitter, which is now X. I don't know whether it's the day after or the day that when it come about with he wasn't going to be basically fighting here with his license back and that. He puts like something on about like a picture of himself and how he's cracking on and type of thing. But you need to sort it out. Something's got to be, I don't know whether I suppose a lot of them can't say anything with solicitors involved and things like that, but he's a British fighter. He needs to be fighting in a British ring. He's not going to get people with the eyes on him in leisure centres in America.
In America, yeah. Half America.
Fighting at 4 o'clock in the afternoon.
Yeah, they don't know who he is, and they're relying on Johnny Fisher to like hold the card up, and in America.
He needs to. They need to sort it out. It's been going on long enough. And me, as a big boxing fan, I'm not interested until Conor Benn clears his name and can fight in a British boxing ring. And I'm sure a lot of people would agree with that.
100%. I think a lot of the British boxing fans are exactly along that. Clear your name, fight in the British boxing ring, and then look ahead, really. So
yeah, definitely.
This is, like you said, it's been going on for so long. But the funny thing, we've not heard anything from Eddie or Matchroom. He's been a bit quiet. So
I don't think they can say a lot. I saw a bit of Frank Smith on Boxing Social. He was saying, we can't comment. You'll have to sign off, Eddie.
Yeah.
So I'm sure they're frustrated more than us.
They've probably gone back to the lawyers and pushed back some sort of, and they're waiting for some legal reaction, I think, maybe from that, see what they can get back from the lawyers. Okay, looking ahead, how excited are you for the 5 versus 5? I know we've not really got the details. We've got weights, but we've not got the full details. But the 5 versus 5 in June, how excited are you for that?
Oh, it looks like it could be an absolute brilliant card, which is obviously going to be topped by Bivol and Beterbiev, which is a main event that a lot of us have been wanting to see for a long time. And then you're potentially going to see Hrgovic Dubois, very interesting. And there's even talk that'll be for the vacant belt. And then you've got the talks of Amo Williams Shiraz.
That sounds good to me. Yeah.
Quality. And then the other is Oh, and then you got Zhang and Wilder that's been spoke about.
Yeah. Okay, I'm going to put you on the spot straight away. Zhang or Wilder? Go on, hit me with it straight away. Quick prediction.
Zhang stoppage.
Really? There you go.
I think it's too accurate.
Wilder days are gone, I think.
Well, I was just going to say, just quickly, it's too accurate for me, but he's got to get it done in 6 because I think his engine will run out, like we've seen a lot with Zhang. Last fight, he didn't want to let too many shots go because he's worried about his engine. Yeah. But I think Zhang will hit Wilder within 6 rounds and knock him out.
I think he would have to, based on that last performance with Parker. You're thinking he had too many sort of rest rounds, I'll say. Maybe, I don't know. He took his foot off the gas. And if he didn't, he probably would have won that fight, obviously. So,
well, I'll ask you one now. Who would you say, Hrgovic or Dubois?
Oh man! Well, I like.
Go on, you got to answer.
I'll say Dubois. I like him. He's got my vote. Hrgovic, he's not quite done it for me yet. He's very much hyped up to be this superstar, but he's not quite done it for me. So, but brilliant fight. Again, it's a 50-50 fight, and that's what we want to see in these 5 versus 5s. It's obviously going to be a pay-per-view, so hopefully these are the fights we want to spend our money on and want to see. Yeah. Also, looking forward a bit further on, September, there's rumours about Wembley. We could be in for a treat for the UK, which makes a change instead of being in Saudi. So is that good? It's got to be good, isn't it? Really, what they're saying?
Definitely. Well, I believe the plan is to have the Saudi money behind the show to put it on at Wembley. And from what I'm putting 2 and 2 together, Hrgovic Dubois in June will hopefully be for a vacant title because of the IBF situation.
Yeah.
And then I think the plan will be for the winner of that to fight AJ at Wembley.
AJ, yeah.
I mean, you've already given your prediction. Some people are saying, "Oh, we could see Dubar at AJ at Wembley." I personally think it would be Hrgović and AJ.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, I do. Yeah. And
would that be big enough to do Wembley, or would they need some good undercard for that? Really?
Well, they're going to have to put a monster undercard on. I mean, AJ Hrgović, you know, with an average undercard, could probably sell 40,000.
Yeah.
No, well, more than that, because it'd be for the title. And AJ has come back with a bang, and he's getting hyped up again. But for me, with a brilliant undercard, with the Saudi money, which they will put on a superb undercard, that'll sell Wembley no problem.
Yeah.
And I hope we get to see the big Wembley card. That'll be fantastic. It's been a long time.
I did put a invite out for Turkey Al Sheikh to say next time in UK, I'll show you real boxing. We go for a beer. We go for a kebab after. I'll show you real boxing. So he may take me up on that. I'll be there at Wembley if that's the case.
You never know, Steve. STBX. If it gets bigger, you never know.
You never know. Who knows? So I'll probably DM him, see what he says. So.
Well, at least you're following each other, so that's a good start.
Yeah, he can send, a limo to pick me up and everything, so it should be good. Brilliant. Okay, that's it for another roundup with Darren's show. Thanks, Darren, for coming on. Appreciate your time.
No problem.
Obviously, please support the channel the best you can with likes, comments, and subscriptions. And appreciate your time. And enjoy the boxing coming up. Thank you. Steve Talks.